not be effective? No.
Well, I think Cathy Black's strength is really in management and making decisions. And say, even in her book, she says, you know, don't go ask somebody's opinion if you already have your mind made up. It's really a take charge kind of an attitude. It isn't, you know, we were told initially that she was the only person qualified because she had all these great qualities. Well, it's not the kind of person who is going to be humble enough to say, you know what, I never even took math in college. I much less statistics. I haven't got a clue what these tests mean, what these results mean. Can you tell me, Shell? Does that sound really likely? No. She's going to do what she wants, or he's going, and legitimately, he should go and, you know, and do his own thing in terms of planning curriculum and so forth, all of the things that an educator does. Where is the synergy there? I just don't see it.
You say name again?
Paula de Cop.
Also, a co-chair situation and co-chancellor situation is not going to work because that undermines the credibility of the office of the chancellor. Because if he's doing all the work with the pedagogy, if he's doing all the curriculum, then what is she doing? Just overseeing what he's doing? With the budget cuts that are being done in the Department of Education right now, with people about to lose their job, why should someone get $290,000 a year to sit there and do nothing while somebody else does their job? That doesn't make any sense. To be a chancellor, you must know certain things. To come into a classroom, you must know certain things. That's the law, that's the educational requirement, and to do this is absurd. So for someone to say that we're not in consideration of Cathy Black to have a co-chair, it has nothing to do with a co-chair. If you go for surgery, I used this analogy yesterday, if you go for surgery and the administrator of the hospital tells you that the doctor never went to medical school but he got a waiver, but we're going to get someone to stand in the operating room and read a manual while he cuts you open, I don't think anybody would accept that. That's what you're asking us to accept, and we cannot accept that in the city of New York. 1.1 million parents cannot accept it. 1.1 million children cannot accept it. We cannot accept our children, especially in urban areas, to continuously fail and no one to stand up and say this is wrong. We need our politicians out here. We need our elected officials. We need the people in Albany who passed this mayor control law and disregarded the beliefs of the public who went against the voters who put them in office. We need to hold them accountable, not just Mayor Bloomberg, but the politicians in general must be held accountable. Our religious leaders must be held accountable. Everybody in the city of New York is responsible for the future of the city. And if you stand by and allow children to fail, and you stand by and accept policies that are hurting children, then you're just as guilty as someone doing it themselves.
Let's put this in context. We all know that we all know the state budget situation is quite dire. That things are not going to be good this year or next year. If someone is making the decision about where to make cuts in our schools, and there are going to be cuts, do we want an educator making those decisions, or do we want a manager making those decisions? I want an educator making sure that there still are an appropriate level of arts, that there still are an appropriate level of special education needs being met, that there still are an appropriate number of services that are not linked to the arts or special needs, but also enhance the lives of all children. I want an educator who understands that, making that primary decision. I don't want a bean counter making that primary decision. So, next question. Another question? Did I see another hand up? No? No? Legal issue question?
The question is there any precedent?